are joined this morning by one of the biggest names in business, tech, and philanthropy. Bill Gates co-founded Microsoft nearly 50 years ago.
Well, since 2000, he's supported causes around the globe by giving away nearly $60 billion through his Gates Foundation.
His newest project is a Netflix series. It's called What's Next? The Future with Bill Gates. And in it, he examines ways to solve some of the biggest challenges we face to date, including the use of AI. Take a look.
Climate change,
creating responsible AI,
misinformation,
income inequality,
dealing with infectious diseases.
But I believe we can solve them. How will artificial intelligence impact society? Crafted text to my son using Gen Z slang. Yo, fam, what's good? How you vibing?
How you vibing? Bill Gates, good to have you. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for asking me.
Yeah.
We were just talking before we came on about the series. We've all watched it. It really is fascinating. And you take a unique approach. Malaria, eradicating malaria, misinformation, climate change, and you talk about ways perhaps that we can solve some of Earth's most daunting problems. How did you come up with the topics, and what was the impetus for the series?
Well, I'm very lucky I get to work on AI. I get to work on global health. Misinformation's the one where, I've been a subject of misinformation. I talked with Lady Gaga, who's had it maybe even worse. So these are things where I'm lucky enough to get to talk to experts. I get asked about them a lot, and so when the opportunity to work with Morgan Nowbill and do a series came along, I said, yeah, this will be fun.
The first episode, it grabs my attention because you look at AI and you talk with director James Cameron, which I thought was genius because from the creative side, we're talking about, oh my goodness, Avatar and Terminator. And he talked about making sure we don't miss some of the warning signs from all of this. And he equated it to, heading full speed towards the iceberg and people not listening to the warnings. Talk to me a little bit about, and I also thought it was interesting, he talked about losing jobs or maybe creativity. You brought up losing purpose. If computers do everything for you, what am I here for? Can you talk a little bit about that and what you think of all of it?
Yeah, in the near term, the idea of using AI to help with education, I've been out in New Jersey and seen the pilots out in Newark, using it in healthcare. Even today, if you get a MRI, putting it in the AI, it'll simplify it for you, or a complex medical bill. It's so powerful. It's the first technology that is happening very quickly, and there's no limit. When we had tractors, it was okay, farmers can do other things. Here, we're talking about almost every kind of job, which should mean more leisure time, but then it's going to create almost a, wow, what do we do with all that time type problem.
And you can definitely see the benefits of AI, but I think all of us kind of have a fear of it as well. So it was interesting because some of the experts in the episode said, we don't even know how it figures out what it does sometimes, which is kind of scary. So do you think companies that are creating these technologies are doing enough to safeguard it for us?
Well, there's certainly a lot of discussion about how should it be regulated, and the companies are saying yes. The government needs to understand our work and needs to look at the right regulations. At the same time, people saying, okay, the U.S. wants to stay ahead. So whenever we talk about, oh, could we slow it down? They're like, well, don't slow it down yet.
Right.
And so it's going to be the biggest change agent in the next 10 years. Mostly good stuff.
Mostly.
But will we get it right? Social media, we're still arguing about, hey, we shouldn't have let young kids use it as much. Right. And how do you balance free speech versus crazy stuff that, got people not to take vaccines, for example.
Right, exactly.
And now the toothpaste is out of the tube, it seems like, on social media. I want to just follow up on what you said there. How can lawmakers regulate AI, or regulate social media for that matter, when it seems as if most of them don't really understand it?
Well, they can, create liability. Say your AI is giving health advice. They can say, okay, if you make a mistake there, you're going to be financially responsible. And so, if it's discriminatory, you can make them responsible. Because it's happening so fast, writing the rules is a bit of a challenge. And so we're trying to encourage the people in government themselves to be users so they understand, wow, this is where it's incredibly good. This is where it sometimes goes nuts.
Do you use it?
Oh, yeah. Now, when I want to summarize a meeting or take a book that I don't have time to read and get the gist of it, or even to draft some complex set of points, a speech. No, this, I highly recommend it. It saves a lot of time. It can even write, poems and songs in a way that is surprisingly creative.
Have you tried it? Have you guys tried it?
I've tried
I'm intimidated by it.
I'm intimidated by it, yes.
Well, have a friend sit down with you and, play around.
Will you be my friend? Show me how it's done.
We've got so much we want to talk to you about. We want to pick your brain about, including something that came up in that Netflix series when you sat down with Senator Bernie Sanders. You talked about your own wealth. Here's what he said.
You are just in you personally, are a very innovative guy. You deserve financial reward for that. You do. How much do you deserve?
All right, we're going to get Bill's thoughts on that right after a quick break. Much more with Bill Gates when the third hour today comes right back. We're back with tech titan and philanthropist Bill Gates. His new series, What's Next? The Future with Bill Gates, is out. It's on Netflix right now. It's fascinating. We encourage everyone to watch. Before the commercial break there, we played a clip where Senator Bernie Sanders was asking you about your personal fortune. And it should be noted, you have given away billions of dollars of your own wealth to advance causes in poor countries and promote public health here as well, gender equality. But does the senator have a point? I mean, do you think you have enough money, and should the government be able to say, enough, let's help redistribute some of that?
Yeah, if I was in charge of the tax system, I would have paid a lot more in taxes. I'd have about a third as much money as I have. Now, Bernie would go further. He would basically say that you can never be a billionaire, that at that point the government's going to take away 100%. And I'd be worried that, the distortions and the disincentive would go too far there. Maybe I'm biased,
Right.
but I would collect a lot more from people like myself in order to reduce the deficit and have a more generous safety net.
So you feel like the ultra wealthy should be paying more in taxes?
We should pay more.
How much more?
The tax on labor and the tax on capital, there's always been this argument that do you need to treat capital specially? And I don't go along with that. I think, capital gains and ordinary income, we should tax at the same rate. So, and I'm also a big believer in the estate tax. Actually, my dad, who's deceased tonight, did a lot of work saying, hey, this is how you prevent dynasties and encourage people to do more philanthropy. If you have slightly higher taxes, but you let people do philanthropy, that's really great.
Yeah.
We really appreciate your perspective. Very rarely do we have guests where we're all three just like every word.
Thanks.
I also want to bring up the fact that the show also highlights the progress in fighting disease. That's certainly what grabbed my attention. Obviously, you've done so much work in the fight against malaria. It's been a long time cause for you. But speaking of health, I remember during COVID, you talked about how we have to be careful, and you worried about what would happen if we were to have another pandemic. Does that still rent space in your mind, or what do you think?
Yeah, sadly, when the pandemic ended, I thought, okay, now we're going to sit around and talk about what we did well and how we'll do better next time. But people are like, no, don't bring that up. It's so divisive in terms of, partisan views about what went well and what didn't, that we're not preparing ourselves for the next one. And I'm hopeful, as things calm down a little bit, people will go back and say, wait a minute, if we don't have good health systems in Africa, they can't catch these things early and stop them from going global. And of course, the cost was so gigantic that making sure you see it early and stop it is worth a lot.
Right. Prevent what you can. One of your episodes tackles climate change. You became a grandparent last year. We all have several kids between all of us. What kind of world do you think we are leaving for our kids? Did that kind of increase your sense of urgency to sort of fix some of the things?
Oh, definitely. My first grandchild is actually here in New York City and couldn't be cuter. She's just about
So
one or so
sweet.
now. And wow, that means the world, 50, 60 years ago will be the world that she lives in. And we're not making enough progress, and the damage kind of accumulates over time. So the need to innovate, I met a lot of young activists who are really harsh about, we're not doing enough. I found that, inspiring and motivating.
So there are people working to make change.
There are. There's almost too many causes right now. You've got wars, you've got interest payments. It's a time where making sure we pick the right things and set our priorities will be challenging but important.
Bill Gates, we love that you sound hopeful. That makes us hopeful. Thank you. Thank you. Come back. Come back. You can watch What's Next, The Future with Bill Gates, streaming now on Netflix.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.